Hi friend, today we are going to be painting a watercolor iris. We are going to be painting something very similar to this. I am going to be using my Roman Smalls watercolor. I've been wanting to get used to that. And I am going to use my Boa Hong cold press watercolor paper. So I'm gonna get my everything ready, and I'm using still trying to get used to this technology, so bear with me. Hopefully everything is looking good, sounding good. And we are going to begin by doing this very loosely. And I want to begin with a light wash. I don't have my colors memorized yet, but we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of this mineral violet. You can play around with that. And then I'm going to I want to take some of this quinacridone red. And then I want to take a little bit of this purling green and a little bit of this Aquarius green. And I want to take a little bit cobalt turquoise because I want to have some play on that, and then some of this yellow. And right now, I am going to begin by using a size 10 brush, but we will go to probably, I'm not sure what size, but it will be, okay, right here. Probably like a 6 long round, perhaps, maybe even smaller than that. 4 long round, we'll start with those. But I am going to begin by taking a little bit of this. And what you want to do is I am just doing my petal shape with some water. And then I'm going to do another one. And I know, I'm not sure how well you're seeing this, but I want the second one to be a bit fatter. And trying to make some like squigglies, because, you know, an iris, it has like ruffles almost. And we are doing this very loosely, so it does not have to be absolutely perfect, but you definitely want to leave a space between the two petals. And kind of, I like taking the brush kind of like up and down, because it's gonna give that appearance. So we're gonna do these two petals first, and then afterwards we will go on. Okay, so I am going to begin by taking this mineral violet, and I want a darker on top. My birds are freaking out, so you'll have to excuse that. They go freaking nuts. They love me so much. Okay, and we are gonna go down. Now, at this point, it's wet, so I want to take it a little bit darker around the edges. And this is where I'm using 100% cotton paper, and this is where this is going to be the magic. And that's the good thing with watercolor, is kind of lazy and it goes where the water is. And that's one of the things that I really love about it, because you can really play upon it, you know. So I think at this point I'm going to add just a little bit of that our cobalt turquoise. I had to think. And what I'm trying to do is just kind of blending it out. And then I'm just going to put some in here. And taking it down. And then what I want to do, I'm going to rinse my brush. And I want to lift some of this out on the bottom, because I want it to fade. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and I want to take a little bit more of that purplish color. And I'm doing it a little thicker. And I'm going to put it right on the edge, because I want that to be really dark. Once again, taking a little bit more, thicker consistency, and I want it right on the edge. And pushing that up and kind of removing some of it. Okay. Now we're just going to go ahead, and I just want a little bit more of this cobalt and putting it right there. And just helping it just a tiny little bit blend out. There. I really love how that looks. Now, there may not exactly be irises that look like this, but that is part of the fun. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this water, and I'm going to do the same for the other side, kind of doing it kind of scribbly, going up and then trying to taper it down to a little bit of a point. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and I want to take some of this purple. Well, I want to soak up some of this because it's just a little bit too much water. Okay. So I'm going to put, I want the blue one or the purple on top. And I'm trying to put the purple on top here. And it's bleeding out, but that's okay. And then I want to take some of this turquoise color, once again, and I want to put it in. And I really like these Roman smalls for 100% cotton, because they just spread out so much. I've only used this Roman smalls just a little bit, and it has been a lot of fun. Okay, so now we got this And I'm going to smooth it out because I don't want it to be rough. I want it to look kind of roughly. There. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our wonderful beard. And to me, irises are just so much fun. Mine are blooming in the garden, so it has left me totally inspired. Remember trying to maintain some of that ruffly edge. And see how that is just bleeding something. It's just looking really nice. So for this, we're going to go ahead and I want to take our purple once again and put that on the edge. And for this, we're going to leave out the turquoise. Well, we can put a little tiny bit in up around the edge. But that's it. Because you're going to see. So now, I want to go ahead and clean my brush. Because I don't want my yellow getting contaminated, which it did. So I'm going to go ahead and just get me out a little bit more fresh. And at this point in time, we're still using our size 10. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dots here. And I want it to kind of bleed down into this. Just like so. And then we are going to leave that alone at this point in time. I love how that looks. So now we're going to go ahead and I am going to go and take my size 6 long round. And making sure there's nothing on it. I am going to go ahead and I want to make my stem. Irises, their stems are just a little thicker. So, once again, I'm doing wet on wet. And I am going to begin by taking some of this Aquarius green and just leaving a little bit of a space. My hands are so shaky, so you have to excuse that. Okay. And then while this is wet, I'm going to go ahead and I want to put a little bit there and then along down here. And then I want to leave that alone. I like how that looks. So I want to do one more. And for this one, I'm gonna go ahead, kind of go down. And then up here. And then we need to make I like to make like a bud. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this mineral yellow. And taking the brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove a little bit. And I want to take just a little bit of that cobalt turquoise. And we're going to push and pull it there. Taking the tip of the brush. And then what I like to do, because in a they wrap around the bud. And you have to excuse my hands. They are so shaky right now. And we're going to connect. Trying very carefully not to get it too thick or nothing. There. And I'm going to go ahead and take my smaller brush because this way I'll have a little bit more control. And I am going to try to not have my head in the way. And then going back down. Like so. And then I want to put in some of that dark like we did for the other side. Taking that pearling green. Taking it down, and then I'm going to take a little bit of water. Like so. And you may want to like angle this a little bit more. So it's kind of like so. Okay. I got this a little bit fatter than what I wanted, but that's okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to take this up to a little bit more of a point. Like so. There. So we'll give this a few. I want to give it a dry and we will see if it needs anything more. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and we're just going to add just a little bit more detail, which I don't know what you guys, but I really love a detail. So I'm just going to go back over this in some purple here. Because I want it a little bit brighter. And then taking just some of this cobalt turquoise as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I want to dab on some of this yellow and bring it on down here. And then I just want to add a tiny little bit linear detail. So I'm going to try to do this. My hands are shaking, so you have to excuse me. Just very lightly. I should have scratched this in, but I did not. And the shaky hands are kind of good, but you don't want to do it too dark or nothing. And there goes my birds again. You have to please excuse that. They're a type of parrot. Okay. And I just really like the light detail of that. And then if you want, you can kind of do the same up here. Just kind of lightly showing. It just helps bring the details of the petals together. And I would do it very lightly. And then same here. Following the curvature of the petal. And then we're going to be a little brave because I do want to put one like leaf in. So we're going to do that like on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this Aquarius green. And they have long leaves. So just kind of like this. I just want one just to add a little bit more to it. Okay, and then we got this color. And what I want to do, I want to take some of this cobalt turquoise. Take a little bit of this mineral violet with this perline green. And that's not perline green, so I'm gonna hear perline green with a little bit of this mineral violet. That's too much mineral violet, but going back to the perline. And hopefully it's not too dry. I just want to add the different colors in that we were using. Just to add a little bit more interest to the leaf. And then taking some more of that cobalt turquoise. And I really like how this looks. It looks like the stem is in front of the leaf, so that's good. That's exactly what I wanted. And then I'm just going to take a little bit more of this yellow paint. And trying not to get too futzy. But I want to add little just little yellow dots. And I really love how that looks. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in more so you guys can see. So I love how this looks. If you guys like more tutorials like this, please let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.